Good evening to my favorite people in the world, Hexicans. What is up? Great to see you all tonight. Great to see you. We got a real great show planned for you this evening. Davis coming in with the $5 super chat already. Look at this guy. Sid, what's up, my brother?
What's up? How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, man. Davis starting off with the super chat, $5. Let's see. Mother effers need to hold their fire. Hex tanking when everything else is moving doesn't help. What? Come on. Come on. It's going to be all right, man. It's going to be all right. No panicking around here. We don't panic. All right, we're all stakers. It's the staker class. Listen, I understand if you got in recently. I wouldn't be happy either. I totally, fully understand if you got in recently. If you're an OG Hexkin or, you've been in for a while, then you know the deal. People who got in recently, I feel your pain. I really do. Just hold strong. And any time in crypto, you're really not gonna realize anything too massive in gains or too great if in the first couple months. You should be planning on holding at least for a few months. I mean, even what was it? I think it was. I mean, you should really be thinking long term, honestly, because that's the only way that you come out ahead in crypto. So, and we all know in Hex that it's a long term coin. We're setting up ourselves for the future. So these little things, these dips and these days and weeks where it's down, it really doesn't matter in the long term because we know we're just shaking out the weak hands and we're getting ready for the pump of a lifetime. It happens every time. It's like clockwork. It never fails. We don't know when it's going to start, but it will start. And when it does, everybody's going to get to have a sigh of relief. We can get back to our usual up and to the right, and we can all relax. All right? So,
yes, sir.
Now, if you can, man, it's called accumulation and consolidation for a reason. All right? Do that. You got a little money, couple bucks, even $50. I know gas sucks, but pay attention. You can catch it cheap. There's other ways to buy. Set limits. All right, just get yourself some more at these lower prices. We got a little green going on right now. I'm okay with that, right?
And just remember, Hex is not designed to be traded.
That's right. Don't be trying to trade, guys. Richard advises against it. I heavily advise against it. I think I tried to trade Hex once just to try to sell when it was high and buy a little more back in later. You can really wreck yourself doing that, though. You can't always predict. I mean, it's predictable to a certain degree, but on the other hand, it's completely unpredictable. So it's not worth it. Just stake it, man. Stake it and chill. That's all you can do. All right. Yeah. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. We got a great show. We got Stef from Stakers coming in. We're gonna blow through the numbers, Sid, like we did with Joker. We're gonna try to get Staker on because it's late where he is. He said so. We want to get him on as soon as possible. So we'll just skip over a few things and get it all out there for you guys. All right, Terrafin 1, you were first indeed. All Metal Pro, Crypto Gains Club 369, Hearts Law Only 1, Candace Blend, Andy Schwartz, Bit Finesse, David Morales, Bert Wookie, Crypto Learner. Who else we have here? X Live, Russ. Smash those likes, everyone. Subscribe to DS, bringing you the primo content. Chrissy, what's going on? Alchemist Jess, Straight Euphemy, Desat, CCFX Studios, Johnny Chaos. What's going on? Johnny Chaos in the house, everyone. You should feel honored. Hand Over Fist. I like that name. AJ Rip City. What's going on, my friend? Adam Bowie. Mango Junkie. Oi, oi, sir. Dan Smith. Hey, I used to know a guy named Dan Smith. Probably everybody knows a guy named Dan Smith, right? No offense.
Common name.
Graphene, what's going on, my brother? Rick Schmitz, Ash. Be mindful of death. What is going on, Bree? Nice to see you. Will H. Hexa Electra. Hey, Hexa Electra, I know you. Everybody, that's someone that I know pretty well. It's my mother. Won't keep you in suspense.
In the chat too.
Pulse Doge in the chat. That's my main man right there. I love me some Pulse Doge. Apex Crypto. Oh, I think I might say Hokukio. No Pajama Dude. D'Artagnan 8. My man, what's up? Davis, Shillum Defoe. Great to see you guys all tonight. Nathan Heaton. Bought the dip, Davis. Good man. That's good job. Good job. Good work. Let's see if we got anybody else. All right, I think I just lost it. It jumped me ahead. Texas Wind Tech. Pulse Doge. Love to see it. Great to see you, doggy. All right, guys, I'm going to jump right into it. Let's get the screen up. Ba-boom. All right. So, nomics.com. Hope everybody uses nomics.com. If you don't, you should start using nomics. All right. Nomics has HEX listed properly where it's supposed to be. We don't deal with that other con market crap. That's not for us in the HEX clan. So HEX at number 3, we're sitting at we're almost at 28 cents. So we got a little pampy going on from what we've been doing most of the day.
Nice.
So 0.278, we're bringing the DS pump, Sid. That's right. Let's see. Market cap 159 bill market cap. See where our dominance is sitting, everyone. Oh, look at all that green. Yeah, baby. Man, the big fish have been quiet. I've been talking about it on Twitter, man. It's usually they're not this quiet. They did pick up a little bit today. I don't know if you caught it, but I'm gonna take credit for this one. All right. I don't know if you saw on Twitter. I put out I got my buy HEX license plate for my car.
Yeah, I did see it. Nice.
I slapped it on there, and I said in the tweet, I said the dip is over. I'm bringing the Pumpamentals with a picture of the new license plate. Like immediately after that, someone bought like $600,000 worth of HEX. I was like, yes,
dude, that's badass. Yo, I like that.
Hell yeah, man! Thank you. So, and then it's been pretty good ever since. So, I guess I marked the bottom with my license plate tweet.
Here you go. You stamped the bottom.
That's right. I gave at the bottom my stamp of approval. Okay, everybody, you can start buying now. We've reached the bottom. All right. Let's see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for market dominance. I'm kind of just scrolling up and down like a fool. Okay, market dominance right now, 5.91% of the entire global crypto market, everyone. Oh, excuse me. Sitting in Hexagon's wallets. Sid, what do we got for T-shares today, brother?
Today, T-shares, 52.94.
All right, 52.94 US dollars. Take a look at HEX Daily Stats, get our old share rate data. T-share rate up into the 19,000. We hit the 19K range in the T-share rate. So we're now sitting at 19,028 HEX to get you a T-share, base rate for a T-share. We'll talk about how to get a T-share for a lot less HEX later on in the show. And what do we got here? Payouts. Payout per T-shirt today was 5.73. Well, that's currently 5.73 HEX. Every T-share you own at 00 UTC, you will be getting 5.7 HEX per T-share in interest. And let me tell you, if you got some T-shares stacked up, that interest stacks up quite nicely. So get yourself them T-shares, guys. Now's the time. All right, let's see how gas been. Gas has been pretty decent today. It was a little higher earlier, but right now it's manageable. Still too high for my taste, but it's manageable.
Yeah, sitting at about
it was about average today. We're sitting at about 60, 61 Gwei right now, so somewhat manageable.
Maybe the NFTs are cooling down a bit.
Yeah, man, tell me about it. Damn NFTs. The only NFTs I support are HEX toys. The rest of them can kick rocks.
Yeah, I still got to buy one of those.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you missed out on the Captain Richard Hart because they're all gone.
Ah, damn.
They've like tripled in value too, guys.
I think there's a streaming Richard Hart.
Yeah, there's a live stream Richard Hart. Shout out to HEX Toys and Cy, the main man behind HEX Toys. And they got some other guys working for him now. HEX Toys is the shit, all right? HEX Toys is awesome. The coolest NFTs out there. They're going to have freaking action figures, physicals soon that we're going to be able to claim if you got the NFTs, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be awesome. So, oh, by the way, I got my new camera. If you didn't, I don't think I have a line on my face today. So
nice.
It was so distracting. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go to Hex.Vision. 9.878% of HEX is locked. 9.878%. So this number has been going down quite a bit, which shows us that a lot of stakes have been coming out, guys. A lot of stakes have been coming out. Just like, what, 4 days ago, we were sitting at still, I think, like 21 billion staked. Right now, we're at 17.5 billion staked in US dollars. Total value locked with staked and liquidity pools is at 17 bill, 589 mil and change. So that's where we're at for total value locked. Take a look at Etherscan.
With all those stakes ending too, I guess that explains the big dip that we've been getting too.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, you know, there's always going to be some sell pressure most of the time. It's not completely foolproof that you say stakes are ending, there's going to be sell pressure, but for the most part, I've noticed there is. I mean, people are going to be, you know, especially if there's a lot of big ones coming out, people are going to be taking some profits for the most part, you know. You can expect it, and it's nothing to panic about. It's just the way the system's designed. That's how, guys, that's how the supply gets replenished in HEX. Okay, we already know there's not a lot of liquid HEX right out there in the pools, and you know, we know the OA is holding a great percentage of it, and that's probably not going anywhere ever. Okay, so the way that the supply gets replenished for us to buy is when people end their stakes, and then that, you know, we're counting on some of that inflated that HEX that's been minted, you know, throughout the duration of stakes is going to enter the market. So that's, you know, it's healthy, it's good, and it's by design. Okay, none of this is anything to be panicking about. All right, this is healthy movement. I know it's not fun to look at your staker app and look at your wallet and the numbers going down. Nobody likes seeing numbers go down, but you just got to get accustomed to it. You know, as you see it enough, you just realize, okay, it's not going to be like this forever. All right.
Yep.
So keep your heads on straight there, people. All right.
Long game.
A lot of we're playing a long game in HEX. A lot of weak hands out there, man. You look on Twitter, everybody, diamond hands, graphene hands, and then as soon as it dips 3 cents, they're dumping their bags out, you know, into the river.
Hands.
Weak. They're talking about diamond hands, but we all know behind the scenes they got those weak papery hands. So
that was great the other day.
Oh yeah, man! Thank you. that was awesome. That was a miss. If you didn't catch the show, we did a Joker show with Joker the other day on Saturday night, and it was a blast. We had some really funny things come out of that. We're gonna definitely be making some memes out of that. So, all right, let's keep moving. Holders of HEX according to Etherscan, 261,558. So we hit that 260,000 mark. There's an account on Twitter called, I think it's the ETH Whale. I forget what it's called. Not the Whale Bot, but it's another one that's like monitors Ethereum whale movement. And they put out a tweet about how we hit 260,000 holders. So, yep. So looking at the holders, Pulse Chain Sacrifice still sitting at 19.7. We'll take a quick look, see what's going on in there. Always curious to see how many people are still sacrificing.
I think you were referring to the God Whale.
Oh no, I saw that too. But yeah, I think it was that account that put out that thing about the God Whale. I believe. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same accounts, the same Twitter account. But I was just mentioning that particular channel or Twitter profile is pretty cool. Right. So yeah, it's about right about the same as it's been. It looks like about 20-25 sacrifices ingoing. Nothing too crazy, no big value really, just little pity patty. So ticky tacky. Yeah, pretty steady. So yeah, that's that. I don't think I have any news. Let me see. Oh, well, yeah, we'll leave the staker data out because we have the man from Staker himself sitting in the backstage ready to come out. So let's do that. How about we bring Stef out? What do you guys say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Let me get this screen out of here. And we're going to bring Stef out. All right. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Stef from Staker. What's going on, Stef?
Great. Thank you for having me. It's a bit late here, so I'll just take a few minutes just to answer a couple of questions and maybe share some updates, and I'll go back to bed.
Oh man, we really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, man.
No, that's fine.
All right, so I sent you that little list. I had just a couple of questions I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Definitely. So I've heard you on stream before, about when you got into HEX and all that. So I'm pretty familiar with that. But how did you get involved with creating Staker? Like, how did that evolve?
So I created, it was maybe back in February 2020, a statistical website called HEX.live. At the time, that was the website, and it got pretty popular very quickly. And at some point, I understood that if we wanted more adoption and mainstream adoption to the product, you needed just get people where they are. And most people in the world, they are on mobile. So I came up with the idea of this, refurbishing, revamping HEX.live into kind of a mobile-friendly application. And so I got started. I partner with Fiat. That is running HEX.visions and a couple of other websites. And then, we just formed a company, and now we've been expanding ever since.
You guys have it's by far, in my opinion, the best front end that exists for HEX by far. Awesome
Thanks.
Application. Love it. So are you a dev? I just was curious.
I mean, there's the different terminology that's thrown out there, like developers, software engineers, and computer scientists. I'm trained as a computer scientist in AI and robotics, so I can code for sure.
Nice, awesome. So, what do we got in the pipeline for Staker? If you throw out like a new feature or two that you guys are working on.
Yeah. So, what you guys are currently experiencing with the available version of Staker is what we call MVP or V1, and the goal really when we set out just to throw the product out there was to see, hey, can you do some sort of staking from a mobile application? We added a bit of innovation there, like the use of the smart wallet, the ability to pay your fees in different currencies in HEX or USDC, the ability to replay transactions thanks to our relayer. So we have a lot of features. Basically, very, very few applications in the crypto market have, right? So we are very at the cutting edge of technology, and that makes it really, really nice for people that don't know anything about crypto. They don't need to think about stuck transactions or failures. I think we handle all that complexity for them. Moving forward, so this is for the current version. Moving forward, we want to add way more data to the product. We have a lot of statistical information about staker, trader, the differences between the performance of average traders on HEX, people just trading against USDC and Ether, and then the stakers. So now we can side by side say, hey, this is an average trader, this is average stakers, and when someone is trying to trade, I think from the application, we can actually show them that statistically, they're most likely just to lose money compared to staking. So that's just an example of the philosophy that we want to bring all of the data just to help people make informed decisions where they're taking decisions. And the key, I think, shift with the version 2 is going to be around this notion of dreams, right? We're going to try to help people also just to go beyond a raw number on the screen, because money is not only something that you look at every time you spin up your staker app, but it's basically the representation of something you want to accomplish in the future. It could be experiences, could be purchasing something, could be doing like putting some money aside for your kids' education. It could be organizing a world tour, buying a car or a house. Most people, we did a couple of surveys and market studies. Most people around the world, they have more or less the same kind of aspiration, right? Getting, a roof on top of your head, and enjoying life with people that they cherish and love. So that's what I think. This is where we want the product to evolve, is help people first to project themselves into futures in 3, 5, or 10 years, and from that point, just help them to finance the dream. So it's about just doing planification and projection into the futures, and it's gonna really change. I think we believe we tested with a couple of early users where how people are gonna be thinking about the app and thinking about their financing their future.
That's awesome. I know. Yeah, I sent you a message or sent Staker a message on Twitter at one point. I send every time I think of like a feature I would like, I just tweet it out to you guys, just to get it out there. And one of the things I put out was like being able to name your stakes, and that's pretty much exactly what you're talking about. Being able to.
And this has been one of the top requested features over the months, is like the ability of people just to have a more relatable, personalized experience when they do some staking. Right? It could be for the kids, for the family member, for themselves, for a birthday, for a key event that they want to refer to. And we're just expanding on that notion of like personal event, and where you could have like even multiple stakes associated to a dream, right? So you could imagine that, let's say, someone has a goal to buy a luxury sport car in the next 4 years. And then, based on the current like growth of HEX and interest that you're getting, we could do just a bit like a small simulation of the kind of stake you could have. And so if someone wants to put some money aside and do some saving every 2 weeks or every month, we can just do some sort of simulation of the number of stakes they would need to put together to finance their dream. So I think it's gonna be changing. It's gonna be changing a bit the way people use the app. Is really associated with the meaning behind the investment, rather than just seeing numbers going up on the screen.
That'll be the When Lambo stake.
That's really cool.
And one thing we want to experiment as well is like, because it's really hard for anyone to project, themselves in the future, right? Nobody knows where we'll be in 5 years, right? If you put yourself, like, you look back 5 years ago, right? We were in different places, maybe with different people, in different relationships, different cities.
Totally.
And so things are throughout the course of people's life are evolving so drastically that it's not always easy to project yourself in the future and thinking about, what are my dreams, where I will be, how should I invest, how should I save. But one thing we could do is to show to everybody in aggregate, obviously, just to respect people's privacy, is like what other people on average are dreaming about, right? So we say, well, we have 20,000 people dreaming about retirement, and maybe 100,000 people dreaming about purchasing an apartment or house by the beach. And that's, I think, one of the key things that will help people just to even studying, basically emulating other investors, not so much about like the kind of staking ladders they put together, but how they think about their future. So I think it's going to be game changer, because nobody is thinking about investments this way in any financial application in the market. And so I think we're going to just really disrupt a bit, like even the meaning about what is an investment, what is a financial application.
That's what you guys are, game changers, man. So
we try.
Do you succeed? Trust me. Do you guys plan on having any kind of support for limit orders at any point?
Yeah. So we already have like a huge backlog of features. I think the way you need to think about the way we think about the priorities for the project has to do with how fast can we democratize access to saving, long-term saving, via HEX. And for us, it's about onboarding a lot of like new users, mainstream users, limit orders, or features for traders. most of the time. So the way we think about the next set of features for the application has less to do with trading, has more to do with like incentivizing people to think about the futures, about recurring investments. So if we were just to look into what we're gonna put first into the application, limit order or not at the top of the stack.
Understand? Hey, that's fair. Is there any chance of like hardware wallet support with Staker at any point?
Yeah, we are currently looking into it. It's non-trivial. It's non-trivial because it depends. What kind of devices do you have? Do you have like a support for a couple of like different wallets on the market, like
Sure.
the most popular are Treasure and Ledger. Is like you need to have some sort of Bluetooth connection. Do you do it like you proxy via a computer? Can you do it on mobile? What is the level of air gapness that you have across the board when you're signing transactions? So we're looking into different options, but it's definitely something we want to support. We are aware that this is kind of a limited market. Not everybody, as it owns hardware wallet. If you were to do a survey here to the audience and how many people actually own a hardware wallet, you'll be surprised that is a single-digit percentage of people on that piece, because it's expensive first, and if we're to make a choice again, you want to onboard the masses, we should focus on like features that help onboarding people that have like maybe $500 or $1,000 that want to go in, versus like trying to support like larger players. But we really value security, so this is something we're currently investigating. And we hope that for the early version of the V2, we'll have support for both multi-sig and hardware wallet integration.
Awesome. So I've heard that multi-sig wallets, which is what Gnosis Safe is, right? I've heard that they are actually more secure than hardware wallets. Is that true? You talk about the security, about like a Staker and Gnosis Safe a little bit.
Yeah, so I think security, and like many things in life, things are not binary. There's not like this is secure, this is not secure, and this is more secure. Things are more kind of a spectrum. And you could imagine that have a Gnosis Safe with multi-sig setup with like 10 owners, different owners. So someone could argue, well, the more owners, the safer it is. Well, if you need to have the signatures of all the owners, like 100 owners, in order to sign the transactions, you could also argue that the reverse, where there's so many people that needs to be involved, then you will never have access to the fund because someone's going to lose the key. So it's a spectrum. Like every time I talk about security, it's a spectrum. The same way you don't secure the same way a little shed, in the middle of the forest, the same way you would secure a palace. In one situation, you might not even want to have a lock, and the other situation, you may have some dogs guarding the properties, some alarms and cameras. So yeah, security is a spectrum, and depending on your portfolio, your personal situation, you want to basically apply different level of security practices to make sure that you're not vulnerable. So multi-sig inherently is not more secure than hardware wallet. It just offers the ability to spread basically the risk, right? So it's like basically creating a little bit of local decentralization around yourself, not to be a single point of failure, right?
Gotcha.
If you were just to manage everything yourself, you could use it as kind of like multi-factor authentication mechanism. Let's say you have like 3 different hardware wallets, and all of them are generating a seed phrase and private keys. And so you could have like 3 owners that you own yourself, or you could even just use different entities or people you trust around you just to own these keys. So it just adds more basically security if you use it in a smart way. But again, it's a spectrum. The more complex you make your system, and if you're not being really careful, you could actually shoot yourself in the feet. So
yes,
So it's there's no single answer, because someone could say, well, I've got 1 hardware wallet, or I've got 2 hardware wallets, and I'm the only one, knowing where they are and having access to it. Well, if something happens to you, if you have an accident, if you're losing, you have like a brain damage, what happens to your funds, right? You have a backup. You have someone that can recover for you. So we'll be writing over, I think, as we release this set of features with multi-sig support, with hardware wallet support. We'll be basically also offering a couple of blog posts and an FAQ for users to let them know that, hey, there's different options, and all options come with pros and cons, right? So it's like comfort versus security. And the more you make your system, your setup complex, you need to be careful because you could shoot yourself in the feet, or maybe it's too complex for you because you want to do a lot of things. You want to sign a lot of transactions on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and now you need to rely on other folks to help you sign. So we'll make basically kind of like different scenarios and situations based on people preferences, and let them know the pros and cons of each of them.
Awesome. So I got a super chat here from Bitfinesse, so I'm going to ask his question real quick. He says, "Love your works, Bob. Thank you for the $49.99, by the way, Bitfinesse.
Thanks.
Love your work, Stef. Any chance of having the app stay on dark mode after it's selected until the user manually turns it off? Staker app is the greatest app in all of finance. It's helped every single hexagon. Thank you, Stef."
Yeah, thanks for the encouragement. Yeah, a couple of folks have mentioned this dark mode issue. So we haven't been able to reproduce with the team. So I just wonder if people have the latest version of the app, or there's something a bit more finicky that is happening at the device level, depending on your default setup. The setup that you have for the entire phone. So let's not do too much support here. But yeah, if you have an issue with the app, just contact us at help@staker.app.
And they always answer. That's the good. You guys have answered every single time I've sent people to you. I've emailed you guys and messaged you guys. You always answer. You guys are the greatest.
Yep. Same here.
So I think the main thing that we really wanted to talk about, you and I both, was in the event that, say, God forbid, Staker goes out of business, something happens, or if even if it just goes down for a day or two or something, what are there any backups in place, or how would we be able to access our funds?
Yeah, so we are just a front end, right? So we don't own the funds. This is the promise that we said, like we are non-custodial wallet. The app is generating using the BIP32 Bitcoin improvement protocol 32, and a couple of other protocol generate the seed phrase on device. We have zero knowledge of the seed phrase. The seed phrase gets encrypted on your device, and so if you change your device, or uninstall and reinstall the app, you can actually re-import your seed phrase there. If our application were to go down, meaning our servers and our relayers were to go down, so you cannot use our interface to transact, there's other ways basically to interact with the smart wallet. The Gnosis Safe team has built also a front end that help you interact with the Gnosis Safe, like sending, receiving your funds. And if you want to do more advanced operation like staking and unstaking, it will require kind of a more technical approach to it. And then, so our plan here is just to make sure that we can publish all the different steps for people who have an issue here. So basically, you don't need the Staker app. If we were to go down, people have ownership over their funds, and they can use a different front end to be interacting with their Gnosis wallet. Where we want to go in the future is going one step further, where we want to open source the bare minimum version of the Staker app, so that anyone can spin up other front ends that don't rely on us. And so other community members could say, well, I got a Staker app backup or Gnosis Safe interface backup, that at least you can just do a send, a swap, or staking or unstaking. And so we're just gonna have like a open source version of a light version basically of our interface, open source, so that we can have anyone in the community using that if we were to go down.
That's awesome. So I have the Gnosis Safe the application, and I input the seed into it and everything. So I'm able to I'm supposed to be able to sign transactions in it, but I haven't been able to do any transactions with it. And I imagine there's a reason for that. I'm not going to get into it, but so yeah, that's the reason I had the question.
Yeah, I can give you a quick technical explanation for the way it works. So the Gnosis Safe basically is a smart contract created by the Gnosis team. It's been audited, I think, 4 or 5 times, formally audited. So it's the highest level of audit you could get in crypto, because it's like a mathematically proven that your code is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically the technology that is kind of hosting the largest amount of crypto in smart contracts. Right? I think there's $100 billion of crypto hosted in Gnosis Safe. Vitalik himself uses Gnosis Safe for hosting his personal wealth. So that gives you a sense of. And I was listening to him on an interview recently, and he even said that he rewrote the protocol of Gnosis Safe in another language to make sure that the code written by the Gnosis team was valid before he was transferring his fund into a safe. So I'd never expose Mexicans to an inferior technology. They get the best of what you can get on the market, right? And actually, we were the one promoting Gnosis before anyone else in the space. I think right now we're about to be the largest distributor of smart wallet in the world.
Awesome.
So,
that is awesome.
There's a couple of other applications that do smart wallet on-chain, but on-chain wallets. I think you have Argent Wallet and a couple of others that do these things. But the scale that we are doing it, I think we are almost about to be the number one in the world. So it's going quite well, and I think we're happy just to give Hexicon the best technology out there. Why we believe this is the best? Why we could have decided that we were creating just a competitor of MetaMask and doing just a simple, costless wallet. It's all well and good until you think about the consequences of having a stake for 5 or 10 years with a wallet and with a wallet attached to a seed phrase. And what would happen if you were to have your seed phrase compromised, right? Or you feel that you lost it. Typical use case that is very likely. You're with your girlfriend, and maybe you write your stuff digitally or even physically, and you share stuff, and now you break up, right? How do you deal with the fact that you may have your partner having knowledge of your seed phrase, and you have a stake engaged for 5 or 10 years? Now you need to live with the fear that someone else that maybe you ended up your relationship in bad term may use that against you. If you have a Gnosis Safe, the safe itself are holding the stakes, right? And you can change the ownership of the safe with given you a new seed phrase. So it gives you additional flexibility and security for such reasons. And I just give you just an example, but there's a lot of different scenarios in which you could feel that your seed phrase has been compromised. So again, when we said that we are serious about security, I think we'll just think about it for the next 5 to 10 years for all of our users in a way that nobody has thought about it before. So I know it could maybe feel a bit like scary for people that currently are engaged with their seed phrase and are in a situation that I just described. But if you have a smart wallet with Gnosis, and at any point in time you feel that your security may have been compromised, you can change. Right now, it's not available in the app, but with the V2, you'll be able to change ownership of your seed phrase. It's also very useful if you have a inheritance situation and you want to pass on your wallet to a sibling or someone in your family. That's another option. You can we discussed about multisig, adding multiple owners. That's another option. We feel that this is the most long-term, the most secure solution in the long term, because it allows you to increase, gives you flexibility, increase your level of security as you see fit.
It's amazing. That's really awesome. So the reason that the transactions don't fail is because of the relayer. Is that correct? Can you talk about the relayer a little bit, like what that's about?
Yeah. So the way the application work, so you have everything that is happening on device that is just local to you, and then the information, but it has nothing to do with Staker. The same thing would apply to any online interface that you, for example, if you go on the go.hex.com, when you're signing a transaction with MetaMask, it gets relayed by the interface to an API provider that is signing transaction and then trying to submit the transaction on chain via a node. Generally, you have like a couple of providers like Infura or others that are relaying the transaction to the blockchain or themselves running nodes. We don't yet run any Ethereum nodes. We just started running our own Pulse chain nodes on the testnet.
Nice.
So these things are, we're building the infrastructure to be able to run nodes not only on Pulse, but also on Ethereum or other chains if we wanted to do so that we have more flexibility for users. But the way the application, the way a transaction gets submitted to a chain is you have the interface that is asking the user, say, well, this is the set of things that I want to happen in my transaction. Thanks to your seed phrase / private key, you're able to sign it. So to authenticate that you're the right owner for transferring some amount from one address to another address, and then it get issued to the blockchain. Right? It's often going through a server and then to a node. They're submitting the information to the blockchain, and then all of the other nodes connecting to the Ethereum protocol or just basically get a broadcasted version of that transaction. And that's how the entire set of the network can know about the transaction.
Awesome.
The way the relayer works is simple. It's like we have a server before sending stuff to the blockchain. We can say, well, we have a signed transaction that came in from the user, and then that signed transaction coming with whatever GUI level we can rebroadcasting with a different kind of like basically price. And so what the way it works for us is like, hey, if your transaction is not being picked up in the next set of blocks, let's say the next 2 minutes, we rebroadcast the transaction at a higher rate, and we kind of assume the difference for the user. So whatever we quoted to the user, we assume whatever, if there's a price increase, we'll pay ourselves a higher price, because that means that we did not anticipate, we didn't quoted the price correctly for our users, or the market condition or the gas price condition change. So that's the way I think on average most of our transactions, they get issued within 2 minutes. Whether it's a swap, whether it's a stake or end stake, and you have guarantee because we're using machine learning algorithms to get a historical view of the gas price variation, that we quote you at the best price you can get with the highest guarantees that your transaction is going to be issued in 2 minutes. So that's the way basically our transaction never failed, because we rebroadcast them at a higher rate to make sure that they get processed effectively. So again, when you use basically Staker, and a goal again is to think about the mainstream users that should not have to think about failed transactions. Right?
Absolutely, that is a huge, amazing feature that you don't have to worry about a failed transaction. I mean, it's
oh my god,
it's great. It seems small maybe thinking about it, but it's huge. It's huge.
So sometimes basically even you have like gas volatility, and the gas price increases, and maybe you are lucky because we quoted you at like, let's say 60 GUI, and the effective price for us is going to be 80 GUI. You're not going to see the difference. We're going to absorb it. So that forces us to have a quoting system and our AI engine to be the most accurate at predicting the price, because otherwise we lose money. So
Right. Cool. So as I'm sure you know, 1 inch is no longer available for American users. So I just had a general question. Do you see that being a problem at all? It doesn't seem to affect us at all. It's like I think you're still using 1 inch. It says it's in the app still. Is there any complications with that in the future that you foresee?
I think no, we don't think it does, because at the end of the day, I mean, we're using the underlying smart contract, right? So it has nothing to do with 1 inch. The main issue that they have is like, the reason why I think they are being conservative is because they're starting issuing their 1 inch token, and a lot of like US investors starting getting that token, right? And it might just be like in the Unity case. it might be deemed as a security, and they're trying to protect themselves from the SEC. So I don't think it has to do with their smart contract. It has to do with that they created the 1-inch token that is used for staking and governance on top of their protocol. And now you have this kind of a legal game where they're trying to make sure that, hey, we're not serving US customers, and just because they issue like most likely a security, so.
Yeah. Oh, that makes perfect sense. So do you plan to offer the option to delegate or stake our Pulse tokens within Staker app?
Yeah. So lucky, we are quite lucky because we chose that name like of Staker app. So in the future you should be able to stake obviously your HEX across the different blockchain, but you also be able to stake delegate your Pulse. So we are starting to do some testing to run infrastructure. So you could be, it's still TBD, the way we deal with the delegation. Do we give any advantages to people like that wants to delegate with us? Do we display all the people that you could be delegating to? We are still like debating with the team how we're gonna present that into the app. But most likely, basically, if you were to delegate with us your Pulse, you should have like additional advantages, right? So maybe cheaper fees or faster transactions or whatever perks we can come up with to incentivize people just to delegate their Pulse with us. So.
That's awesome. That's really good to hear.
Nice.
I got a little super chat real quick. Luckbox Crypto, thanks for the $10. Love the content, Hex Peep. Stef, you're the man. Can you talk about the multi-chain platform coming up? I guess that kind of ties into what I was going to say. Do you have? I know you want to probably get to bed, so we'll try to wrap up. Do you have any like Easter eggs or Pulse chain, any kind of tidbit you can throw our way that you might be privy to?
I think we had shared maybe a mock already of like a visual representation of how it's likely to look like in the application. But yeah, we were working with our designer over the months of September, and the most likely way it's going to be presented in the app is when you do any transaction like a swap, a send, staking, you'll be clearly seeing, through the app, like a banner that tells you, which chain you're operating. It's going to be color coded. Most likely, even the border of the application may also be color coded with the color of the chain. So you won't be able to make any mistake. I think for us, is the main thing. You won't be able to do any mistake, and it's going to be easy to swap from one chain to the other, but also to aggregate your portfolio across all the chain that you're participating into, right? So right now, I'm suspecting that if you're using MetaMask, you cannot see your portfolio across multiple chains. With us, we can aggregate the data and just show you your account across chains.
Yeah, I love that, the view only feature. You can just load all your wallets into Staker and just have your whole total HEX portfolio in there. It's fantastic.
It's all one big workshop. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. So you're saying we're gonna be able to aggregate all the balances from Pulse Chain and from the Ethereum side and have like one set of data there, one nice balance if we want to look at it that way.
Yeah. The most likely outcome is like the user will choose, right? Do they want the aggregated view? Do they want to see just one chain? Do you want to see their portfolio on the other chain, or everything? So that's the way we think about it, and so you can have a very, very nice view. Aggregated view about your accounts across chains, and again, some of the information that maybe very few front ends will be able to deliver at the outset.
That's right. Only the best. All right, I guess we'll end here with Chance Nicely's $50 super chat. Hello, Stef. I was one of the winners from the Staker app giveaway. Just wanted to say that I love everything you guys are doing and appreciate all the hard work you guys have done. He's got many people using Staker app to great success, and so have I as well. That's the only way I onboard is with Staker. I don't even try MetaMask, because most of the people I onboard they're no coiners, and it's just easier. It's just the only way to go.
That too.
And I think, and I was having a chat with Richard lately, and I think we all agree that the largest friction point right now is the fiat to crypto, ramp. It'd be so nice if, and we're working on it right now, so I can't make any announcement, but from the app, directly with your debit card or credit card, the ability just to buy and stake some HEX with us.
That'd be amazing.
So yeah, we're currently applying for a brokerage license to be able to sell some crypto directly. So
that's an Easter egg right there. That's good.
Yeah, so at some point, you're gonna have an end-to-end experience with the staker team, and we won't be relying on partners. So it's gonna be reducing fees and turnaround time, and it's just gonna be just a better experience overall. So these things take time because there's a lot of legal and regulation and verification elements to go through. But we're signing the papers. We're just doing all the due diligence, and I think we'll get there.
Very nice. I know that if you get there to direct fiat to HEX on Staker, I probably won't be able to use it because I live in New York and New York sucks. But for everyone else, that will be amazing. So
so that's the way we'll just work with right now we are a French registered company, so we'll work with the EU first, but then we're gonna have a quick expansion. UK, Australia, and some of the easiest states in the US. New York is not one of them. So.
No, they are not. They're on the very bottom of that list.
Yeah.
Marco, you know all about it. So cool. So I mean, if you don't have anything else, I think that's pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about. Sid, you got anything you wanted to ask Stef?
Oh, I'm good. I got enough out of that. But I appreciate you being here, Stef. That's awesome.
No, it's fine. And we were just chatting with HEX Machina. How do you pronounce it?
That works.
Machina. And for us, we are just listening. On a daily basis, we read all the reviews. We try to be very responsive when people have issues. And so that's why I wanted to jump in, because I think about 10 days or 2 weeks ago, there are some confusions on what will happen. Do we own the funds? We control the Gnosis Stef. And no, I just wanted to reiterate that it's a non-custodial wallet. We don't own anything. You have your seed phrase. And actually on a daily basis, people come to us, it's like, oh, I lost my seed phrase, or I'm not sure. It's like, guys, we put warnings that, we don't have it. So do not lose it. Take the time to secure it, because if you lose it, and then that's game over. So crypto is about freedom, but more freedom implies more responsibilities. So I really urge people to think about safety and security first, because without security, there is no gains.
That's right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
On these wise words, I will just leave you guys. Thanks again for having me tonight. That was a pleasure just to clarify and then share a few things that we are doing with the product. And again, thank you very much, the both of you, for the support. You're constantly tweeting or talking about the product, and this motivates the entire team, and making sure that we're striving for a higher bar. Every other month.
Absolutely. That's never going to stop. I'm always going to use Staker and talk about it, recommend it, and give you guys props. You're the best, man.
Unless there is some competing application that does much better, I'll be happy to say, hey, good job, guys. You're just doing these things, better than we do. Better gamification, better prices, better features. And I really welcome more people in the community just to provide more tools. You have, I think, to stake HEX today that got released, a few weeks back, and this is the type of thing that we love to see, because then that creates more options, more front-end, more options for people to think about staking, think about visualizing information, and even give us ideas which direction we should go, because the community is really passionate about these kind of features.
Yes, we had Key on, the creator of StakeHex today a couple weeks ago. We brought him on, and he talked about it, gave a little tutorial for everyone and for the site. That's a great site.
Yeah, and we even have I think every week I get someone that say, "Hey, Stef, why don't you put back you don't put back hex.live, in place? I love the product. For Christmas that would be such a nice gift you could do." And that's just a testimony that there's like sometimes the way you present the information, it could be the color scheme, it could be the way you structure the layout of the page, just resonates a lot with some people and maybe less with others. And that's why I encourage more and more people to have the skills, the ability to think about spreading the message to different kind of audience in different kind of format. It doesn't need to be an app or tool or website. Sometimes it's just about doing like you guys are doing, some videos, some tutorials, some explanation, some rehashing of the content. So keep doing what you're doing. I think everybody is benefiting from different viewpoints and different formats when it comes to teaching about Hex and long-term saving.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Great to hear. All right, I'll let you get to bed. I know you're probably getting ready to pass right out. So thanks again, man. Thank you. What time is it over there anyway?
It's about 4 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you better get out. Go hit the sack, man. Thank you so much for being here, Stef. We love what you're doing, man. You're the best.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right, take it easy. All right.
Nice.
Stef from Staker app. Good stuff. Sorry, guys. I know I saw you guys had some questions in there. I didn't want to get too, stuck in the chat and the questions. I had my own list of questions that I wanted to ask him. So, and I'm the one that secured the interview. So I got the first dibs on the questions, but I think I got a few of them out there. So, yeah, I think that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to keep trying to get good guests on. And if you guys have any recommendations of who you want to see, who you want to get on the show and talk to and ask questions, learn from, let me know. We're not just limited to Saturdays, as you can see, doing meeting people on Saturdays or whatever. We'll fit them in any day. So if you guys think of anyone you want to have on the show, just shoot me a DM or whatever. Let me know in the chat, whatever you want. We'll try to get them on there. I'll try to get them on the show. But yeah, so awesome. On that note, I think we'll call it a night. And I think we'll take a little quick look at the chart actually, real before we leave, see where we ended up for the night.
Had a little bit.
Yeah. Let's take a look. We got the start of a green day, guys. How about that? The start of a green day. Let's see what the hour is looking like. Oh, look at that. We got the DS pump. The DS pump was in, baby.
There we go.
Stuff. Nice. Yeah, I think when we started, we were at like 25, 26 cents. So now we're at 28. 3 cents. We brought you 3 cents, Hexicans. Be grateful. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you, guys. All right, we're gonna call it. Guys, take it easy. We'll be back on Mr. Dan Emmons. Yeah, I've thought about asking Dan. He doesn't respond most of the time when I try to reach out to him, so I'll keep trying to see if I can get him. I would like to. I got a few questions for Dan for sure. So, Thoughts Child, I got you. I'll write that one down. I'll keep trying to get Dan out there. So, all right, guys, let's go buy up that big dip and get back to where we started. Get back to the up and to the right. If not, just keep your pants on. All right, it's gonna be okay. I promise. We're gonna get through this. Before you know it, you'll be looking skyward again at the chart. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna blast through 50 cents. Watch it.
That's right. This whole big consolidation phase and shaking out all the weekends is just preparing us for a vertical insanity pump. All right, it's coming. Keep your eye out. Tolstoge, you have yourself a good night. And everybody else, thanks for being here. Peace out.
Take care.